not even, he didn't make a point. He was just, you know, Bradshaw's always laughing. Bradshaw's always smiling. And then I don't know about this, and I was told this Sunday in the production meeting how they clocked me on this. And I said, well, I actually call it the Blitz. There's an ESPN show called the Blitz, and there's a guy on there named Tom Jackson. And I called that one night, and he wasn't smiling, and he was sitting there with that Chris Berman, which is enough to make you, that was nothing. Little him go long. I can understand him not wanting to smile. He probably didn't even want to be in there. So I'm a firm believer in the fact that everybody you ought to mirror up. You ought to be a reflection in your heart, your soul, and your integrity of the person that's inside, and whether you're happy or not. If you're in business, you need to learn to smile. Let me tell you something else you need to do. We do this in sports all the time. You need to learn how to encourage people. Everybody, just turn around and shake the hands of someone next to you right now and just tell them how glad you are to see them. Just do that right now. There it is. That's how you do it. How you doing? While you're shaking hands, everybody just lean over to your neighbor and give him a hug. Everybody. You know what? Since we're having so much fun, everybody kill somebody. It's amazing to me that when we're nice to people, when we're kind to people, when we're smiling at people, it's amazing how energy picks up. It is. If you want to have a great 2010 in your business, regardless of the political climate that we're involved in today, or whatever the recession we're coming out of, or the global, whatever's happening, you just have to take charge. People want to do business with nice folks. That's just the way I see it. My grandfather was the most respected, most loved. My dad the same way. Everybody loves my father. My dad's just a happy guy. My grandfather's just happy people. When I used to get out in the huddle with these guys, sometimes I didn't have all the answers. I know that's hard, but sometimes you just don't know what to do. That has nothing to do with this company. This is nothing, none of that. But sometimes, in a crisis, as fatigue sets in, I had to ask myself as a quarterback, a guy that was leading, I had to apply the two things I've just talked about. Thank God I'm alive. Can't be alive, you can't play football. Can't love your husband, can't love your wife. Can't go fishing and play golf. Can't do anything. You're dead. And then if you are fortunate enough to be able to raise your hand and say you got a PE degree, and that you're proud of it, and that you loved your school and you loved your life, and then you love your job with a passion, because that's truly what it takes. So many people just don't love their job, and so they're just miserable. And I always tell them, do your job. There you are. It ain't take no genius to figure that out. Yeah, but sometimes, and maybe it's at the end of the day, or maybe it's at the end of the week, or maybe it's before a holiday, when we all seem to get excited and get stressed out, is when we start making mistakes. And ladies and gentlemen, that's when we just have to light it up. And I used to do this all the time. Unlike these NFL players today, who are making millions. Yes, yes. There. Overpaid, average. Who don't call one play? I called my own plays. So proud of that. I actually could look at the placard that was on the sideline. It's got numbers on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I learned early. If you'll watch that thing, it'll tell you what down you're in. I didn't need a speaker in my helmet until 2nd and 4. It'll move on a stick. It'll move down toward that other stick. The closer it gets to that other stick, then you get a chance to start all over with 1. There's that out. PE degree. You guys are making millions. Peyton Manning, I know you love him. I love him. A non-Louisiana boy. He didn't call a play. He didn't call a play. Did he play? They played last night, right? Yeah. They won last night? Good for them. Not one play. Got a speaker in his helmet. Making 16, 6. He's making a lot of money. Getting ready to sign. He's 33 years old. I got hurt when I was 31 and retired at 32, making $300,000 a year. $300,000. Now I thought I was the wealthiest guy in the world. 300,000. You know, back then. Now he's getting ready to sign at the end of the season the wealthiest contract in the history of the National Football League. He's going to average around $22 million a year. $22 million a year. He don't care nothing about y'all. He ain't ever going to speak to y'all. You might love him and you might want him to be a spokesperson, but you can't afford him. He don't get the money. Y'all ain't never going to hear him get up here and talk like this. You don't need the 1,500.